Most people think that hosting a great event is about the logistics, the venue, and the schedule. It's not. Today we're hosting 20 senior brand leaders at Edelman UK in London. Then we're taking everyone for a dinner at the Devonshire, which is one of the hottest restaurants in London right now, in their private room to continue the conversations and have amazing discussions. And by the end of the night, everyone's going to be asking, when are we doing this again? And it's not because of the food, and it's not because of the venue.
Because of the attention to detail that most hosts never even think about. And I'm going to show you how to create an event that people actually remember. All right, it's 3 p.m. and we've got about half an hour until the guests arrive. So let's get started. Excited for this one. Delighted to have you here this afternoon. A big thanks to Edelman for hosting us in their wonderful office. We are going to have a fantastic afternoon of insightful discussions.
Everyone's arriving at the right time. You want to make sure people feel welcome. You'd spend the time to shake their hand, say hello, and that's super important. So that's, to be honest, what we've just been doing, and didn't have a chance to kind of really plan or structure what we were doing in terms of shooting the content, because it's just a bit hectic. And I think you've got to be on your toes. I think if you plan ahead and you kind of know the format, get here a bit early to the event, the venue, know where you're going, understand if there's like security aspects, you've got to have a fob, you know, if there's people that you need to help you. I think having more helpers, the better, because if you're just one person, it's impossible. Like, to give you an idea here, there's like first floor stairs. We're welcoming people on the ground floor. We've got to get them to the first floor. There's a security fob. We had someone then welcoming them there, then walking down to a place where there was networking. And then once everyone was here, we could then take them to the separate rooms. So everyone is in their sessions now, which is great. And for this format, people come together, they have an afternoon discussion. There's kind of two boardrooms where senior brand leaders will come together to discuss different insights, challenges, things around kind of modern marketing. And then there'll be a break. They'll go into the second round tables, and then we're going to go to a nice dinner. So it's about building that connection first, talking about the business challenges and the insights, and then continuing to build relationships over an amazing meal, food, drinks at a great restaurant. And that's something that I think people do differently. I think quality is something that you need to do more of. I think a lot of people, they just scrimp on hospitality, I think. And at the end of the day, you got to think what you are trying to achieve. If you're going to build relationships, you need to create memories. And to do that, you want people to be in a setting that's nice. You've got to have a nice aesthetic, a nice space, good temperature. You know, all of these things, they might seem a bit like, why do I need to think about that? But it really is so important, because you've got to be comfortable. And when you're comfortable and you're in a nice surrounding, you can be creative. You can think of different things. You can feel good. You can be open to networking and building relationships with people. So that is all of my top tips in terms of thinking about the event. We're going to do some more filming, but I just had to get that out for you guys.
All right, so we are here to do a format called Dinner and Discussion. So I'm here to support brand innovators, and it's a really nice format that's bringing senior leaders together from Fortune 500 global brands that are here to share their challenges, share insights, learn from each other. And really it's a platform for people to learn, share, and connect. And then what we have is a couple of partners that then are coming to help moderate those conversations. And they're learning from the brands to kind of understand what's important, what are some of the challenges that they're facing right now. And so these are kind of closed door discussions. The community comes together to connect, have some networking, and then the best way to build relationships is then to go to a nice dinner. So we've got a nice restaurant booked where people are gonna have a great time. All right, we've just started, and so we've got a couple of hours now whilst they're in their discussions, and then I've got to make sure that the cabs arrive on time. Let's go. We are just waiting for the cars. So the event's finished now, the first part, and we're about to get in the cars and go for a nice dinner. So we are here at the Devonshire now for our private dinner. So once you've had the roundtable discussions, you've talked business, you've connected in more of a formal way, there's no better way for people to connect and build real friendships and relationships than having a meal. And so what we tried to do is find like really hard to get into restaurants, places that are a bit different, a bit quality food and a bit special, because it's about creating those lasting memories. What's great about this format is we've had the business talk, and then now it's about having a bit of fun, having
an amazing meal, enjoying some drinks in a great place. All right, so we are now upstairs on the 3rd floor. So at the Devonshire, they have a private room kind of section. It's a different building. It's pretty cool. As you walk in on the left, there's like that 2A FBI privacy glass. So little things like that, if you can find venues that kind of create a bit of an elevated experience, are all what makes it a bit more special. So the guests have now arrived. We've got them in the room. They're having drinks. They're networking. This place is famous for their Guinness, so they've got Guinness, they've got sparkling wine. I think what's important is to kind of set expectation, over communicate. So when people have arrived, I let everyone know what we're doing. I said to them, we're going to be doing networking till about 7:30. I think an hour is like kind of a minimum that you want to have for networking, get people to have a bit of fun, because don't forget, we've come from the business side of stuff. People have been really looking forward to doing this event. So now once we're here, people are going to sit down, they're going to network over dinner and just have a great evening. We've got a fantastic menu lined up. I've chosen the wine. We've got a nice Gavi di Gavi, a nice Italian cab sav, white crab, beef chop, sticky toffee pudding. What else do you want? And a round of applause to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We love this format, dinner and discussion, getting everyone together, senior people from the brands, from our sponsor partners. That's what it's all about. It's about bringing people together to learn, to share, and connect. And what better place than to build relationships at the Devonshire. But no, just thank you again to everyone. This is what we love doing this format. It's the first one in London for 2026. We've got many, many more to come. If you've enjoyed this, you want to be part of the future events, then please let us know. That is a wrap on this vlog. I've really tried to kind of bring you along with me to show every step of the way of how to host an amazing event that is memorable for your guests. This was a unique format. Something that we were doing is this kind of dinner and discussion format where there are brand leaders coming together for roundtables, talking about business challenges and sharing insights and things like that. And then taking everyone to an incredible restaurant to continue building relationships and friendships over an amazing meal at dinner. And so as you could see, like, it's not all plain sailing. You know, there were times that kind of got a bit stressy. I think that happens with all events. You know, as much preparation that you do, there are going to be times when it can get a little bit overwhelming, and that's just more around the time of people arriving, getting them situated, things like that. And I think once you get that crowd into a venue and then you kind of do your opening remarks and let people know what to expect, they kind of get comfortable. That was the only thing. I think also the cabs, they just came at different times. I had this vision, like apprentice style, like 5 vans just like all parked outside, ready to go. That didn't happen. We kind of had to just navigate cabs arriving at different times, which for me, kind of being a perfectionist with events, like I wish I was in the first car. I would like to have got to the venue a bit early and then greeted people as they walked in. What happened was, like, I ended up getting the second car and then I was there 15 minutes later and then my guests had already arrived in the venue. So it's not the end of the world. I think what's great, again, you know, if you've got a fantastic restaurant, the staff there know what they're doing. There's management there making sure people are comfortable, giving them drinks, and everyone was fine. I then did a welcome speech at the restaurant, which was to thank everyone and give people an idea of what future events there are. And then in terms of over communication post-event, send thank you notes. People have given up their time, whether it's a morning or an evening. You know, they could be with friends or family or whatever. Just thank people. It goes a long way and people appreciate it. So you've had a great event, you've over communicated, you've been in an incredible venue, people have been comfortable, people have met really interesting people, and then they've had an incredible dinner, and then they know what to expect in the future, and then they're gonna tell everyone, and that's the power of word of mouth. They're all 10 people. So events really are the backbone, I think, of your strategy this year. I'm calling it that 2026 is the year of connection. It's the year of IRL, in-person connection, community building. A lot of you have amazing online communities. It's how can you build your offline advantage? And that's something that I'm going to talk a lot more about, because it is about building an offline advantage. I've done events with Google, Macy's, Net-a-Porter, and a series of events with Soho House, and I will share some best practices, I'll share more tips, and I'm going to document more events that I host to kind of really bring you along the way step by step and show you kind of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and be real. Like when things don't go right, I'll share what's happening and how I'm reacting in real time. So I think this is kind of a cool format. There's a lot more events in the calendar. I just want to say thank you so much. The feedback's been great on the recent vlogs. I'm still at the start of this journey. I can't wait to do more vlogs that are coming up, and I really appreciate you if you've stuck around this long in the video. Like, thank you so much. If you've liked it, please subscribe, like, tell people, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.